it's Caitlin, and I'm really excited for the flow that we are going to do today. It's all about bringing balance into your body and into your life. One of the keys in yoga is this idea of balance. We do things on the left side and the right side, trying to bring balance to the body, but we also want to bring a balance between ease and effort. So as we flow through the different postures today, I want you to really pay attention to areas where you're maybe bringing in too much effort, right? Are you straining? Are you really stretching? Or areas where maybe there's too much ease and you're kind of flopping into a pose. Can you find the balance between both of them? And the pose that we're going to work with, kind of our culmination pose here, is tree pose. And I just love tree pose. You are standing on one leg. You will get there. I believe in you. And I love this pose because to me, it is the perfect representation of balance, where you have your feet rooted on the ground, but you also have your arms expanded overhead, reaching up into the sky. And I think trees, in nature, I'm a person who loves nature. I live by 2 forests right now. And trees are a great illustration of the need for balance in our lives, to be both rooted but also expanding, but also that what balance looks like can change. So a tree in the spring is very different from one in the winter time. And that is a good reminder to all of us that what balance looks like is fluid and that can change. And maybe what your body or your mind or your life needs right now to be in balance is different than it was when you were a teenager or even a few months ago, and it's okay to embrace that. So we're going to start in a reclined tree position. So you are going to use blocks possibly today if you want to. So if you have blocks or a shoebox or books, something, if you are tight in your hamstrings, you may want that. So let's get started bringing balance to our mind, our body, and our breath. So come into an extended tree pose. What you're going to do is you're just going to lie all the way down on your mat. Your shoulders roll back, feel yourself nice and grounded, and then stretch your legs long. Bring one leg, it doesn't matter, I'll cue you halfway through, so we will end up doing both sides evenly. Bring one leg to just bent, just like this, and then let it flop open. And you can rest that foot on your inner thigh, down on your calf, or your ankle. So that bent leg is going to just be wherever it's comfortable for you, and just feel yourself rooted. If you want to grab a blanket to put under your knee to kind of support that, you could do that. This is also a great place to use a block if you have that, or a pillow, and just support it. Let yourself be here in a reclined tree pose. And your hands can be on your body, they can come to heart center, palms together. Maybe you want them down, hands connected to the earth, or you can bring them, stretch them up overhead wide. And we're just going to start to connect to our breath here. So you remember the 5 qualities of the yogic breath. Go ahead and invite those into your practice. Breathing in and out. Just notice if your inhale is smooth or if you're gripping anywhere. As you let go of the grip and tension in your breath, let go of any gripping in your body. Just melt into the floor here, completely supported. Continue to inhale and exhale in a quiet, continuous, smooth way. Begin to deepen your breath and start to bring your awareness to the length of your inhales and exhales. Before we balance the body, can we balance the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Go ahead and switch legs now. Your bent leg can now extend long on the mat. Your right leg will open, turn that knee open, and bring your foot either to your inner thigh or your calf or ankle, wherever is comfortable to you. Again, you may want a block or a blanket to support you. And then place your arms wherever is comfortable and return to that even breath. Just like our inhales can be longer than our exhales, and it takes us out of balance, other areas of our life become imbalanced. Ask yourself where you would like more balance in your life. Are you giving more than you're allowing yourself to receive? Are you doing more than resting? There are a number of places we can balance in our bodies, our minds, and our lives. Continue to breathe in this position. Feeling yourself supported by the earth. Let the thoughts in your head drain out onto the mat. And allow yourself to be fully present here. Trust that as you move through this flow today, you will bring the balance you need to your body. Trust that you have the ability to bring the balance you need to off your mat when your flow is finished. Let yourself be here for one more deep inhale and exhale. And then begin to bring small movements into your hands and toes. Open your eyes if they were closed. Extend that knee long. Move any blocks that you may have used to support you. And we're going to begin in a bridge flow. So just bring your knees bent. Ground it into the mat. Feel your hands pressing down and supporting you. And before you begin to move, tilt your pelvis up slightly, ground into your feet, and let the breath initiate your movement. On the exhale, lift your hips toward the sky, rooting down into your feet, opening all the way up into the chest. Lower down one vertebrae at a time with your inhale. Settle back into the ground. Again, root into your feet, tip your pelvis forward in preparation. And on your exhale, lift your hips toward the sky, only going as far as your body wants to. And then lower down to the ground. We're going to continue this bridge flow, either keeping your hands rooted on the ground for support if you need them, or if you're able to, on the next exhale, tilt your pelvis, lift your hips toward the sky, and move your hands up overhead with you. On the exhale, hands float all the way down with the hips, rooting into the ground. Continue to flow back and forth between these movements. Inhale, hips and hands rise. Exhale all the way to the floor. Continue to flow here with your breath for 3 more lifts. And settle down into the mat. Notice where you move with ease. Do your hands easily float above your head? Also notice where you may be gripping onto the mat. Are your toes gripping? Have you clenched your jaw? Move through these poses with both ease and effort. A harmonious balance of the two. Let your hips and hands settle into the ground. And we're going to cross our ankles and slowly roll up into a seated position and come all the way onto hands and knees here. A tabletop position. Your shoulders are stacked over your wrists and your hips are in line with your knees. If kneeling is not an option for you, if you have bad knees, you can come down to your belly. We're going to be working on some balance, and so you'll just come like this and do the same motions all the way from the ground. If your wrists are bothering you, if this motion is not available, you can do fists. So come into a comfortable tabletop or on your belly position, either hands down or wrists. And we're going to start just floating the right hand forward, stretching long from the base of your spine out through the tips of your finger, and bring it back to the ground. Float your left hand forward, doing the same thing here, stretching your fingers long, and then stretching out the base of your spine, and bring it to the ground. Next, we're going to add our opposite foot. So continue to flow through this motion with your hand out, and then add the left foot, reaching back in space, and come to the ground. Repeat on the other side, stretching from fingertip to toe with intention, and continue to just flow through this motion as you breathe in, stretch long, and on the exhale, allow the body to settle and contract into the ground. This is great for lengthening the spine. It brings balance to the body, and if you wobble, that's okay. A couple of tips are just to connect with the properties of the breath. A lot of times when we lose our balance in a pose, it's because we're holding our breath. And then connect with the foundation of what's supporting you. The hand and the leg on the ground. The balance between one hand and leg being up in the air, extending long, while the other hand and knee support you. Go ahead and take one more round on each side. And then we're going to bring our left foot forward and our right into a just bent, grounded in front of you. And then your right knee may want to stretch back a little bit. And we're going to flow between two poses here. So this lunge pose, we're going to lift up and open your heart wide. Feel a stretch down through the front of your hip here, expanding through your spine. And then straighten your leg, round your spine forward, and bring your hands to the floor. Toes come back toward your face, and just flow between these two poses, bending that knee, opening the heart center, straightening the leg, hands come to the ground. And we're just going to repeat that a few more times. If the ground is not available to you, this is a great place to use your blocks or a book or something to support you. And hands can just come there, and then you can flow in the same way. So straighten that leg, toes come back toward your face, and then open. If you are not able to kneel, you can try putting a pad under here. If this isn't comfortable, you can also always double up your mat if you're like, this is killing my knees. And we're just going to do this one more time. And then from here, Go ahead and stretch your mat back out if you double it up for your knees. It's also always okay to put a towel or a blanket under your knees. Again, part of the balance is being comfortable in these poses. So come back to your low lunge, and then we're just going to curl our toes under and straighten up into a high lunge here, our runner's lunge. The hand that's on the ground will stay rooted, your right hand, and then your left hand will twist open, heart twisting toward that knee. And this sponge-like motion, this wringing out, just lets the toxins flow out of your body. You can always put your knee down if this isn't comfortable. Bring your hand back to the earth, and then we're going to rotate those back toes open and your right toes, both toward the long edge of the mat. And this is going to put you into a wide leg forward fold. Let your head hang down here. And we're just gonna stay here for a couple of breaths. If you cannot reach the ground, this is a great place to use a block. If having your feet really wide is uncomfortable, you can always heel toe them into a more comfortable position. And then if you're just too tight through your hamstrings and legs, that's fine. Just put a little bend into your legs. The key is to roll your body weight forward and keep your spine long. Breathe here. Just letting that tension melt out of the back of your legs. Notice if you're gripping your toes. Can you bring ease even into a posture like this? Put your hands on the ground, no matter how much you need to bend your knees to get them there. And then just heel toe your feet to center. We're going to come into until they're about hip width apart, which again, you can put two fists together and put them between your hands. Between your feet. That will tell you hip distance. And from here, you're just going to roll all the way up into a standing position. Hands come up, head comes up last. Float them down by your side. This pose is Tadasana, when your feet are rooted, so root into the ground. Roll your shoulder blades back. Feel your head extend long, crown of your head is up long. Ears are away from your shoulders. Ribs are in, glutes engaged, and just bring in tension into your fingers, right? This is a great place to bring some effort into your hands instead of just ease. We're going to breathe here as we prepare to move into tree on our left side. So breathe in and out. Open your eyes if they were closed, and to move into tree, you're going to root down into this left foot. So put all your weight on this left foot. You can just kind of bring your right foot to your toe to support you. You're going to lock out that knee, straighten it, lift up through your hips. Ribs are in, shoulders roll back, hands come to heart center. And then you're going to turn your right knee out, just like when we were on the ground supported. You can either put your foot of your right leg, or your right foot, on your left leg, the ankle. You can put it at the calf. You can come all the way up to your inner thigh. Just don't put it on top of your knee for safety. And then just breathe here, feeling this balance. You can extend your arms high and wide like branches growing, and feel that connection to the earth as your foot is rooted and your hands are able to expand high. Bring your hands back to heart center, release back into mountain pose, and we're going to go ahead and do this one more time. So root into that left foot, right knee turns out, foot either on your ankle or your calf or up to your thigh. If you wobble like me, just get back to your breath and what's connected on the ground. Turn that knee out and then rise up. Just as a tree connects the heavens and earth through its roots and branches, you are a connection. With your foot rooted on the ground and your arms expanding up into the sky. Take 2 breaths here, feeling yourself balance in space here. And on the exhale, come all the way down into a forward fold. We're going to move into a cat and cow, so come back to your knees, tabletop, and move into a cat and cow position. So I apologize, I'm having to. Okay, let's just kill the music there. So go ahead and bring your wrists over under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Again, you can come to fists if you need to. And we're just going to take a round of cow, cat, back, and then cow on the inhale. Let the belly drop, expand across your shoulders. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale that rounded cat back. And then push back into a child's pose. To do that, you just let your hips sink back. Head can come to the mat, it can come to a block. Arms can be back by your side or out in front of you. And knees are as wide as you need them to be. Just rest for a moment here. Just like a little seed. Waiting for that springtime to sprout forward. But in the meantime, just being nourished by the breath. Finding the balance and peace in this time of stillness. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back into either our tabletop or our belly down position and repeat. So we're going to flow first with the left arm out, and then the right. Then add the left and right arm and leg, extending long. On the inhale, extend the right arm and left foot reaching into space. On the exhale, bring them back down into earth. Continue this flow a few times. If this pace feels too fast for you, you can always move slower. Go at the pace of your breath. Inhale, stretch long. Now on the other side, and just feel the balance as one arm and leg are in the air, reaching and growing, and the other are rooted in the ground, supporting you. From here, you're going to step your right foot forward into that same lunge position. Maybe walk your left knee back. And we're going to open up, expanding our heart center, feeling that stretch. And then again, you may want to grab your blocks. We're going to come straighten that front leg, sink the hips back, toes come toward you, and straighten that leg. Feel yourself let go. And then on the inhale, expand, open. Exhale, straighten that leg, hips come back, round over that knee. And continue to flow through these two poses. Exhale. If you're not able to have your knee down, again, you can come up and you can just straighten and bend that front leg, bringing your head forward and then down. But if you're able to, you want to expand through that heart center, opening up and then grounding yourself as that front leg straightens. Let's do this one more time. And when we come over that front straight leg, return your foot to the ground. Left hand comes to the ground, right arm twists up. Again, you can put the hand down here, but just twisting over that bent leg. Breathing in and out. Twisting your body just like you're wringing out a sponge. Hands come back to the ground, and you're going to pivot your left foot down, and then your right toes both toward the long edge of the mat. I'm going to switch so you get a nicer view here. But you're going to just stay in that forward fold again. So again, you may want blocks here. You may want to bend your knees here, But the key in this pose is to feel your feet rooted, not gripping your toes. So bring some ease into the feet and some effort. And then you're rolling forward over your toes. So weight is forward, head is down. And just let yourself breathe. Bend your knees if you need to. Support the head with blocks if you need to. Whatever variation works for you. Just let that tension drain out of the backs of your legs and let your spine be long here. Roll forward, put your hands on the floor, bend your knees, and then just heel toe until your feet are hip width apart. Roll all the way up. Bring your hands down at your side. Roll your shoulders back. And feel yourself rooted here in mountain pose, strong like a mountain, Tadasana. We're going to go into tree on this side, the other side. So whichever side you started with, do the other one. You're going to bring all your weight into one foot. So I'm going to do my right side. So right foot is rooted down. Picture just like a tree, deep roots holding you to the ground. The knee is locked out, straight spine lifted up, shoulder blades are back and down. Bring your hands, your palms together at heart center, and then rotate that knee out. The left knee rotates out, and bring your foot to the left ankle, the left calf, or up to the left inner thigh. Set your gaze, your drishti as we call it in yoga, on a fixed point to help you balance. Gaze at it softly. Breathe in and out through your nose. Expand your arms up overhead and continue to balance here. Breathing in and out. Bring your hands back to heart center and step back into Tadasana. Feel the effects of that pose. The power you have in balancing, but also how good it feels to have both feet rooted on the floor again. Step into tree one more time. Fullest expression of tree. So root down into the left leg, straight and strong, lift it up through your upper body. Left knee turns out, and right here, hands at heart center, you're in the pose. If this is where your feet are moving and kind of, ooh, I'm balancing, great. You don't need to go any farther than this. If this is more comfortable, your calf, stay here. And you can still expand your arms open. And then if you like, you can always bring your foot higher. Again, just avoid placing it over that kneecap. Hands come to heart center, knees turned out, and be in a full expression of the pose. Hands open wide, arms open wide, and breathe in and out. Feel yourself strong and rooted, but able to sway and change with the seasons. Without losing who you are. Bring your hands together back at heart center. Step your foot back into Tadasana. And we're going to lift our arms up and come all the way down. Bend your knees if you need to into a forward fold. Take your left hand and grab your right hand and grab your left ankle on the outside. And then take your left hand and just place it on your back, twisting your heart center open toward the left. Bring both hands back to center. Feel yourself rooted, and this time take your left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Drag your right hand up onto your lower back, supporting you, and just twist, a little twist right here toward the right side. Bring both hands back to the floor And we're going to make our way all the way down into a seated position. If you want to stop by a tabletop and do a couple cat-cows, you can. And then work all the way down onto your back. Rolling onto your back. We're going to start in a similar position. We're going to end in a similar position as we started. So, whichever side you started on, doesn't matter. Bring one leg long to the mat and the other leg bent, just like you were going into that reclined tree position again. Only this time, take your knee. If it's your right knee, pull it to the left. So across your body. Bringing a nice supine twist in. And then you can either do cactus arms where your elbows are bent at 90 degrees and place your hands on the floor. Or you can straighten your arms out into a T, looking over your opposite shoulder. Let your body just collapse into the pose here. Relaxing, supported by the ground. Ease, effort. Just breathe, twisting, wringing out anything that is not serving you, anything that is bringing imbalance into your life. Right knee comes back, rolling you back onto your back. And then go ahead and switch. Opposite leg is bent. Right leg is down long. Feel your shoulders rooted onto the mat. Settle into the mat here. And then when you're ready, just bring that knee across the body. Rolling up and into a twist. Arms can be cactus arms or stretch them out long. And then you can turn your head to look over your opposite shoulder. Breathing in deeply, twisting your body, wringing out any imbalances you have, just like you wring out a sponge when it gets too full. Breathe here. Roll back when you're ready, slowly onto your back. Take any final movements you might want here. You can hug the knees in. I like to do that. Just give myself a little hug. A thank you for taking this time to be on my mat. And then when you're ready, bring your feet out long. Let your hips settle in. Shoulder blades gentle down the back. Head is long. Face relaxed. Hands can be down on the ground supporting you or upward. And we're just going to take a few minutes here to fully relax. Feel the balance in your body, both the left and the right side. Notice anywhere they may be different. Can you meet these differences not with judgment, but just awareness? Continue to breathe in and out, allowing your body and mind to settle into the stillness that is being offered to them. Embrace the balance between stillness and movement, between sound and silence. Allow yourself both. continue to breathe. Start to bring small movements back to your body. First moving the fingers and the toes. Roll out the wrists and ankles. Stretch your toes and fingers long. Arms come overhead. Stretch like a big yawn-like stretch. And exhale audibly. Hands come down to the mat. Let's do that again. Stretch your body long. You just woke up. Stretch and exhale, sighing it out. When you're ready, roll onto one side, using your arm as a pillow for your head. Curled up a little in the fetal position and just rest in between movements here. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, use your top arm to push you up into a comfortable seated position. Let's take a few more deep breaths here. Hands come to heart center. Eyes can be closed. And just feel the difference in your mind and body now from when we began. Do you feel balance? Can you take this balanced feeling off your mat with you? Eyes flutter open. As always, it is my privilege and my honor to guide you and to share the joy that is yoga with you. Namaste.